New Brunswick has produced many beloved pro hockey stars, and this guy in the Fredericton region is a complete legend in every way. Now, Buster Harvey, for a lot of people in the capital region and throughout the province, is considered probably pound for pound one of the best NHLers ever to come from the capital. Now, Frederick John Charles Buster Harvey, born April 2nd, 1950, had a very successful career in the NHL with 407 games for the Red Wings, the Minnesota North Stars, Kansas City Scouts, and Atlanta Flames. Now, born and bred in Fredericton, he moved to Ontario as a youth and played junior with the Hamilton Red Wings. Now, this came after a very successful elite minor hockey career in the Fredericton system. Now, in the 1965 season, he split time with the Fredericton Junior Red Wings and the Fredericton Junior Hawks, scoring 50 goals in 39 games. 66-67 with the Halifax Junior Canadians. He had 23 goals and 74 points in 51 games, including a grand total of 27 points in the playoffs, including 9 goals. 1968 with the Fredericton Junior Red Wings, he put together a point-a-game pace and eventually found himself moving to Ontario to play with the Hamilton Red Wings of the OHA. Now, his 2 seasons in the OHA were very successful as well, as the Sniper hit for 51 points in 69 and 60 in 1970. Now, at 5'11", 185, he was your basic medium power forward, very strong in the power play, very strong in the 5-on-5. Now, his great play with the OHA drew a lot of attention, and he was taken 17 overall in a 1970 entry draft by the Minnesota North Stars. Now, in his rookie season with the Stars, he had 12 goals and 8 assists for 29 points in 59 games and saw his first NHL playoff action. Now, 72 was a confusing season for Harvey because he's almost a whole campaign with the Cleveland where he had actually 95 points and also played 6 games in the Barons playoffs. And 72, for some reason, he only played 1 game for the big club, and that was in the playoffs. Now, in 1973, he found himself back with Minnesota, 55 points in 68 games, including 21 goals. 74 season was another top-flight year as he notched 16 goals and 17 assists for 33 points. After a trade to the newly formed Atlanta Flames, he eventually put up some strong numbers with the franchise with 44 points in 79 games. Now, 75-76, he started with the Flames, ended up in Kansas City, and that year he had 17 points in 40 games. And also ended the season with Detroit with 35 games, including 17 points. 76-77 was his last NHL season with the Detroit Red Wings, and he had 22 points in 54 games, including 11 goals. He also split time with the Kansas City affiliate, the Blues, but 78 was his last campaign, and he was finished off the AHL with the Philadelphia Firebirds with 27 points in 71 games, including 10 goals. Now, very impressive totals in the NHL. 208 points in 407 games, including 90 goals and 2 assists in 14 playoff games. Now, unfortunately, Harvey's life in hockey was cut short, one of the biggest tragedies in provincial hockey history. He was feeling under weather for a number of months, and he was eventually diagnosed with cancer in the late 2000s. In 2007, he succumbed to the virus or to the cancer and passed away. Now, in tribute to his life in hockey, the newly constructed hockey rink in Fredericton was named the Grant Harvey Center. Now, his longtime friend in hockey was Danny Grant, another Fredericton pro, Stanley Cup champion, one of the few Eastern Canadians to score 50 goals in NHL season. Um, Grant said it's okay to name the rink after me, but I want Buster's name side by side. So that's why it's called the Grant Harvey Center. And unfortunately, as we all know, he also Danny Grant passed away from cancer just in recent months. And so the two great icons of pro hockey in Fredericton at the NHL level, their legacy remains in our hearts and our minds and in the beautiful name of that rink. Now, in memorial to Buster, a tournament is held every year in Fredericton, which is called the Buster Harvey Memorial Pee Wee AAA Hockey Tournament. Now, in a beautiful recognition, in 2010, Talia Summer, a female goaltender for the AAA Fredericton Caps, was the first female player to in the 6-year history of the tournament and to receive the tournament's Unsung Hero Award. Now, the award was generously presented by Mrs. Harvey at the newly opened Grant Harvey Center in Fredericton. So, Buster Harvey, the legacy continues on. When a lot of people look at the old hockey cards, you know, there's a lot of Harveys in New Brunswick, different parts of the province, Carleton County, North Shore, Miramichi, again, southern New Brunswick. But you say the word Buster Harvey, one word comes to mind is dedication to hockey, just like Danny Grant. And you know, his process of getting to the NHL had some twists and turns. You know, New Brunswick junior hockey, especially in Fredericton, is quite strong. I've covered various Quebec Major Junior and Junior A teams in southern New Brunswick, and the Fredericton program. The Red Wings are technically an indirect tribute to, again, Danny Grant and Buster Harvey, two great Detroit Red Wings. And ironically, like I said, when you hear the word Red Wings, two things come to mind in New Brunswick. Fredericton and Danny Grant and Buster Harvey. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. And check out YouTube for the various top flight sports cards that reflect Buster Harvey and Danny Grant, because they're inseparable. It's too bad there's not a hockey card out there didn't have Buster and Danny on the same card. That would have been collected by at least 1 million people across Canada. Have a good evening. Bye.